basketballers, it's NBA Jail and I'm back with another video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get to it. What the league looked like when Dwight Howard was the best center. Dwight is seen as a non-factor in today's game, but at one point he was the best center and a top 10 player in the league. I'm gonna take you guys back to a time where the big man was a key component in today's offense and kind of give you guys a sense of how important this man truly was. Just sit back and enjoy the video. I'm gonna start with the 07-08 season with All-Star Weekend. I'm gonna set the stage for you guys, a little nostalgia if you will. The Celtics were halfway through the season with their new big three, and there was plenty of pressure for a championship season. A young LeBron was fresh off a final sweep at the hands of the Spurs. The Pistons were looking to get revenge on the Cavs from their 4-2 loss in the Eastern Conference Finals. Vince Carter and Jason Kidd were seeking redemption from the second round exit at the hands of LeBron and the Cavs. Both Miami and Dwight's Orlando Magic got swept in the first round of the 07 playoffs, and it was their time to show what they had. In the West, you had the Spurs, who were fresh off a championship adding on to their dynasty. You had the Lakers, who didn't make it past the first round of the 07 playoffs with a hungrier than ever Kobe Bryant. Denver with a very talented Carmelo Anthony that didn't even make it out the first round. Phoenix Suns with the two-time league MVP and Steve Nash and company, a formidable opponent in the Utah Jazz. So the talent was spread out and you really didn't know who was going to take it all, unlike today's game where we know almost for certain the Warriors will take it all. We're just here for the drama, really. So back to All-Star Weekend. The contest included Jamario Moon, Rudy Gay, Gerald Green, and of course Dwight Howard. Dwight's first dunk got the crowd on his feet and at attention. The bar was raised super high after this dunk. Everyone was getting in great dunks, but once Howard took off his jersey and revealed his Superman shirt and put the cape on, everyone went nuts. He then proceeded to place a piece of tape on the ground to show where he was jumping from. He runs from half court and Jameer Nelson throws him an alley-oop. This man literally catches the ball and throws it in, not dunk. He threw it in. I remember exactly where I was when I first seen this as a kid, and I was amazed at the time. Everyone was anticipating what Howard was going to do in the slam dunk contest, and he surely did not disappoint, winning it all. After this, people started to seriously look at the Magic and take them seriously as contenders. Howard averaged 20 points, 14 rebounds, and 2 blocks on 60% field goal shooting. That is elite big man numbers. The Magic finished with a 52-30 record with a third seed in the East. They ended up losing in the second round 4-1 against the Pistons, but the Magic were far from finished. Dwight began cementing himself in the NBA. People even began to compare him to Shaq, which Shaq did not appreciate one bit. They were calling Dwight the new Superman, and this is what kind of began the animosity between the two, which is, I believe, is still going on today. Shaq takes jabs at him whenever he gets the chance. Boston went on to win the finals to beat the Lakers 4-2 as their big three formula proved to be successful. The 08-09 season was Dwight's best and most important season in his career. He had the supporting cast around him to make a championship run, and the two teams that realistically stood in his way were the Celtics and the Cavaliers. The 09 Magic squad included Hedo Turkoglu, JJ Redick, Jameer Nelson, Rashard Lewis, Marcin Gortat, even Tyronn Lewis and Rayford Alston, aka Skip to My Lou. They were all on the team. The Pistons were severely underachieving, and Ben Wallace, their defensive presence, was no longer a member, and they had a washed Allen Iverson. Miami was cool and all, but without any help for Wade, they could only do so much. The Nets were a non-factor without Jason Kidd. So yeah, it was the Magic, Celtics, and Cavs at this point. In the West, it was the vengeful Kobe Bean and the Lakers. The Spurs, of course. A Dallas team that wanted another shot at the title, an unproven Carmelo and the Nuggets. So you can see from a year ago how it dwindled down to just a few teams that had a real shot at the championship. Dwight competed in the dunk contest again for the second year in a row, where he ended up dunking on 2 goals at once. This man was not playing around. He ended up losing to a 5'8" Nate Robinson who dunked over Howard, but it was a great battle overall. The Magic finished 59-23 this season, earning them a third seed as Howard received his very first Defensive Player of the Year award. Dwight averaged 20 points, 13 rebounds, and almost 3 blocks on 57% field goal shooting. The man was a force to be reckoned with. After beating the Celtics in a 7-game series in the semifinals, it was time to face LeBron in the Eastern Conference Finals. This is his first Eastern Conference Finals. I remember watching this, and honestly, it seemed like 1-on-5, like LeBron versus the entire Magic roster. When I say Dan Gilbert ought to be ashamed for not getting this man any help, he's honestly lucky LeBron came back. So Orlando ended up winning 4-2, which earned Dwight his very first finals appearance against an all-time great in Kobe. Watching this finals, it started to dawn on everyone that Kobe was not about to lose 2 finals in a row. He was out for blood. Kobe averaged 32 points a game, while Dwight managed to only average 15 points, which is very below his standard. The Lakers win 4-1, and the Magic would never see a finals again after this. The 09-10 Magic still felt they had a shot at the title with the addition of new members on the team: Ryan Anderson, Matt Barnes, Brandon Bass, and Vince Carter. As last year, there were only 2 teams that stood in the way of the Magic, which were the Celtics and the Cavaliers. players. Unbeknownst to everyone that this would be LeBron's last year as a Cavalier before he headed off to Miami. In the West, you still had Lakers, Phoenix, Spurs, Dallas, Utah, and a young and up-and-coming Oklahoma City Thunder. Dwight was still doing Dwight things this season, averaging 18 points, 13 rebounds, and 2 blocks on 61% shooting. His points were down by 2, but his field goal percentage had went up, so I guess it was an even trade-off. The Magic once again go 59-23, earning them a second seed in the West and giving Dwight his second consecutive Defensive Player of the Year award. The Magic got to the Eastern Conference Finals against Boston, where Boston got their revenge from last year, winning 4-2. They went on to lose against the Lakers in a 7-game series, a very classic series if I must say so, but the Lakers are now back-to-back champions at this point. And LeBron is tired of not having any help, so he forms a big three down in Miami with Bosh and Wade that same summer. With the Magic still being championship contenders along with Boston, Miami, and a superstar point guard and Derrick Rose in the Chicago Bulls now, this is where I believe the NBA began to shift a little for Dwight. 2 big 3 teams were now in the East and he didn't have that luxury, so I'm sure it frustrated him a little bit. In the West was the Lakers, Dallas, OKC, and Spurs for the championship contention. The Magic finished 52-30, earning them a 4th seed in the East. Dwight averaged 22, almost 23 points, 14 rebounds, and 2 blocks on 59% shooting, earning him his 3rd and final Defensive Player of the Year award. Sadly, the Magic were bounced out the first round 4-2 by the Atlanta Hawks, and this is the beginning of the end for Stan Van Gundy and the Magic. The Mavericks went on to win the championship 4-2 against Miami, and this brings us to the 2011-2012 season. The East had Miami, Knicks now that Carmelo was there, the Bulls led by MVP D Rose, the Celtics of course a driven Pacers squad, and the Magic who were still fighting to prove they were still contenders. The West had San Antonio Spurs, a young and talented OKC, a revived Denver Nuggets, the LA Lakers, and an NBA champion Dallas Mavericks. The Magic began to fall apart, and word was getting around that Dwight was trying to get Van Gundy fired. In an awkward interview, Van Gundy had told the media he heard from the front office themselves that Dwight wanted him fired. Howard walks into the interview, puts his arm around Van Gundy like everything's okay, and just deny with a smile on his face and everything. As all this is playing out, the Magic were not playing up to expectations and finished with a 37-29 record, earning them a 6th seed and a first-round exit to the Pacers to go along with it. Miami won a championship this season 4-1 against OKC, giving LeBron his very first championship. This was Dwight's final season with the Magic as he signed with the Lakers to form a big three of his own with Kobe and Nash in Los Angeles. This team was plagued with injury and egos, and Kobe was not too fond of Dwight. He felt like he was lazy and just not doing enough for the team. They too were bounced out the first round, and this was the end of Dwight Howard as we knew him. He's been bouncing around team to team since then and is currently out with the injury. It's crazy because at one point he was a top 5 to top 10 player depending on who you ask, and right now he's not even top 50. Alright guys, that's the video. Please let me know what you guys think. I'm trying to do more stories like this. Let me know down in the comments what you believe. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.